Hey guys, so today I'm gonna be doing this makeup look. It's a recreation to a makeup look that I found online recently, and it's this one right here. Obviously mine is a little bit more brighter, you would say, but I just wanted to try something fun, something new, and this is what I came up with. I hope you guys like it. If you want to see how I recreated this, then just keep watching. Hey guys, so we are going to start with by me moisturizing my face. I am using the Urban Decay Hot Spring Moisturizing Gel, and I literally love this thing. I love the consistency. I love how much moisture it gives to my skin. Minimal amount goes a long way, which is what I love about this moisturizer. And I'm just gonna add this all over my face, blend it in, I'm gonna let it sink in, and then we're gonna go into Mario Badescu facial spray, the rose water facial spray. I love this thing. It keeps lock in the moisture that I put on my face, keeps my face hydrated. After that, we are going to prime, and I'm using SMASHBOX Photo Finish Primer in Light. After we do that, we are going to go into our eyebrows. And for eyebrows today, I am using the Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Chocolate with my favorite brow brush, the number 12. I love this brush. Great for when doing precise eyebrows like I do. And I am going to speed up a little bit the process on how I do my eyebrows today. But as you see in the video, I use this brush to make a precise shape first. I kind of like outline my eyebrow first. Then I go ahead and fill in more in the areas that I need it the most. Then only do a little bit in the areas where my eyebrows is already dark, because you don't want super dark, harsh eyebrows. And I'm going to use the spoolie to blend as much as I can out so it looks as natural as possible. Once I'm done with my eyebrows, I am going to go into the Maybelline Brow Precise Concealer in the shade Medium, and I am going to use a Morphe G34 to blend it out like I usually do. My favorite brush for when I'm blending around the eye area, underneath my eyebrow. I just love this brush in general to blend out the that type of concealer. After I finish concealing out my eyebrows, I am going to go ahead and prime my lids for this eyeshadow look that we're going to be doing. I am priming my lids with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Medium. I am going to add 1 to 2 dots on each eye. And once I do that, I am going to blend it out again with the G34 brush all over my eyes. Make sure I get close to the brow bone and up high up there, concealing my whole eye. Then, once I look up how I want this makeup look to really look, go back reference to the picture, I am going to start with the JACKLYN Hill eyeshadow palette. I'm going to start with the color Central Park, and I'm going to use a Morphe R40 brush to blend this into the crease area of my eyes. I'm going to do only on my crease area this color. I don't want it so much on my eyelid, so I'm going to keep it concentrated all over my crease, close to my brow bone, and I'm gonna just do light touches first so I can kind of make like an outline where I want the eyeshadow to be at. Once I kind of make that outline and I blend it out a little bit, I'm going to go back and pick up more of the same color and add more. And once we blend it all the way, we're going to kind of go based off on the high intensity that you want. So you want to add as much or as little bit as you want this eye look to look. So if you want more intense, you add a little bit more. If you don't want it so intense, then you add a little bit less. But key is to always blend it all the way. I do circular motions when I do blend. It makes it easier to apply the eyeshadow where you want it, plus blend it out at the same time. It's the best thing to do. Takes the less amount of time to blend out the eyeshadow this way, because usually when you're doing a look like this, a lot of blending goes into this type of thing, and you really have to blend a lot for when you want to recreate this type of look, get it the certain way that the picture's at, like how the picture is showing it. You really have to do a very good job at blending. So I always say, at little by little, blend, add a little bit more to get to the point where you have the intensity that you want. Because if you add too much eyeshadow when you first start, it's going to take a longer time to blend it out to the point where you want it to be than what it would have taken you to just add little by little. So once I finish with Central Park, we are going to go in with the shade Mocha in the JACKLYN Hill palette, and I am using a R38 to add this color in. I'm only doing a little bit of this color, kind of add more of a dark intensity to that gray looking brown, and I'm only doing it in the outer corner of my crease. I'm going to start there and then blend, and then little by little blend it inwards to the rest of my eye, giving it that more intensity. Don't worry if it kind of looks a little out of the area where you want it. We'll just clean that up afterwards. But the objective is to make sure you blend it all the way through. Make sure it looks nice and then smooth. I lost the clip on the color that I have on my eyeshadow on my lids right now, which is a base for the glitter that we're going to be using. But I did use the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette, and the shade that's on my eyes right now is the color Blindside. So I added that just to give a little bit of a dark blue base for the eyeshadows, for the glitter, so the glitter would pop more when I added it in. Now, to add this glitter, before I do that, I am going to use my Too Faced Glitter Glue. I'm just going to add a little bit to my eyelid, and then I'm going to add a little bit to my brush, and I'm using an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. And then I am going to be using the NYX Glitter Brilliance in the shade 01, which is their blue eyeshadow. And I'm just going to tap it in. I'm going to tap in this glitter for sure. And you want to make sure you get your whole eyelid. Then I'm going to move into the other eye. And I'm going to repeat the same process, just tapping it in. You will have fallout, which is why I decided to do my eyes first and then my foundation, so that I can just grab like a makeup wipe like you see me doing on the video. A makeup wipe and just wiping off the excess of the fallout that came from the eyeshadows and the glitter. So I'm just going to wipe away the extra eyeshadow that we definitely do not need. Clean up the sides of my eyes, make it more precise lines on the side of my eye. And once I'm done cleaning up, once I finish cleaning up, before I do foundation, we are going to make sure everything is nice and blended. My favorite blending brush is this IPSY L34 brush. I love this thing for blending, so I'm just going to blend a little bit in my crease, connect in that eye area, like the two different colors. Move on to foundation. For foundation, I am using two L'Oreal foundations. I am using the Pro Glow in the shade 208 and the Total Coverage one in the shade 303. Now, I am going to add a couple drops from the Cover FX Enhanced drops in the shade Sunlight. And I'm going to be using a Morphe B9 brush to mix this in. And then once I mix it, I am going to dot this all over my face like I usually do, making sure I cover my whole face. Since my eyebrows are already done, I am going to make more like precise lines around the eyebrow. Make it a lot easier for when I'm blending around my eyebrows, because I've already had that precise line by my eyebrows. So I'm just going to carefully be dabbing on that area when I am blending out the foundation all throughout my face. Like always, I always say to make sure you dot all over your face. Don't forget your ears, your side of your face, your neck. And I am going to add a couple more drops to my face. And then I'm going to start blending. I'm using the Real Technique Orange Beauty Sponge, the one that I've been loving. It does not compare to the Beauty Blender, but this is a cheaper version of a beauty blender. Is the one that I find works best compared to the beauty blender. But I would say I prefer the beauty blender. It's just more of a pricier item. So once I blend out my foundation and it looks as good as I want it and I'm fully blended out, no harsh lines, and I look one whole even color, we are going to move on to concealer. Now, for concealer, I am using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium. I'm using this one around the underneath my eyes. And I've been using a little bit less concealer lately, so I'm only going to be creating a couple lines and then adding a little bit more right underneath where my dark eyes are the most. Then I'm going to grab in the shade Medium of the Tarte Shape Tape, and I am going to add this on my chin and on my forehead. Once I add it to my chin and forehead, I am going to blend it out with my Real Technique Beauty Sponge once again. I love this for when I'm blending. It makes it a lot easier. It feels like a little bit of like a light, like making it a light coverage of the concealer. Even though it's a full coverage concealer, the blending makes it, the beauty sponge makes it blend so smoothly and flawlessly, like you feel like you're not using as much product as you really are, which is what you want with a beauty sponge. You want it to help you blend out those products super easy. Then we're gonna set and bake with the DERMABLEND loose settings powder and the shade Original. I love this thing. I use it all the time. I use it in every video. It's my favorite setting powder. I like loose setting powders. I don't like pressed powders for my concealer, especially since I'm baking and it is a total coverage concealer. So I'm just going to add this powder in the areas where I did add concealer. And then we are going to go into contouring. And I'm using my Kat Von D Shadow and Light palette. And I am using the darker shade to outline and make lines around my face. And I'm going to be using an angle Morphe brush. And I'm going to make precise lines first with the darker shade of the Kat Von D Shadow and Light contour palette. And then once I do the lines all over my face, like on my cheekbones, on my forehead, on my jawline, all those areas, I am going to go back into the same palette with my G1 brush, and I am going to blend it all the way out. Now, to blend it out, like I usually do, just add a little bit of that medium shade in the palette and dust it off, and then start blending the areas where I left the harsh lines. Obviously, you don't want to stay far from the lines for more precise contour. The reason why I'm using two different shades in contouring is because in the picture, in the sketch, the makeup look has more of a dark contour, which is something I don't usually do, but when you really want a defined contour, I do it. So you always want to start off with a darker bronzer, make precise lines, and then I like to go in with another brush and with a lighter bronzer, blend out the harsher bronzer. So once I do that, I am going to contour my nose, and I am using another Morphe brush. I can't remember the number right now, but I will leave down in the description box the detail of the precise brush that I'm using. It is kind of like a smaller contouring bronzer brush. I love this for when I'm contouring my nose, which I don't do often. but this is a perfect tool for when I am contouring my nose. And I did use the lighter shade of the bronzers on the Kat Von D contour palette to do the contouring on my nose. So I'm going to do the side of my nose and bring it upwards towards my brow bone, kind of if I was going into my eyebrows. And then I'm going to do the little bottom of my nose, make it more precise looking. Then I'm going to blend it in actually with my fingers, which I find it better than using a clean brush, because sometimes it can take the powder away from where you added it. So once I contour my nose and blend it in the way that I want it, so for blush, I am using a DLS blush in the color Kitty Pink. It came in my IPSY bags, and I love this light baby pink color that it has. It's very like nude pink shade, which is why I love it. And I'm going to be using an E3 Morphe brush to put this on my face like I usually do. I love fluffy brushes for when I'm adding blush. It makes more for a flawless, natural look when adding your blush. And then for highlight, we're going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerrero palette. And I'm going to be mixing Glow Getter and 143 together. And I am going to be using a Luxie brush, my favorite Luxie brush, highlight to my face. And this is the 660 Precision brush from Luxie Beauty. Love this brush when it comes to adding my highlights. And like I usually do, I am going to add this highlight to my highest points of my cheekbones, and then I'm going to be adding it to the sides of my temples and making sure it's completely blended out. And then we're going to move on to the next thing. Next, we're going to go into lips, and for lips, I am going to be outlining my lips with a lip liner from MAC Cosmetics in the color Cyber. It doesn't really matter which lip liner you use as long as it's a dark lip liner. And then we are going to go in with the NYX Cosmetic Metals. It's a lip cream, and this is in the shade 09. It's like a blue metallic color. And this goes great with this makeup look. It's matched perfectly to the sketch that we are recreating. And as you can see, the lip liner that I did use, it's like a dark purple. But once you add this lip cream, you can't really tell. I only use the lip liner as a guide to where I'm going to add this lip cream and to give it a base to the lip cream so it doesn't like budge out from the lines of my lips, which can happen if you don't use lip liner for darker like lipstick products, and we definitely don't want that. So once I finish adding this lip cream, I am going to make it a little bit more brighter by adding some of that NYX glitter that I used before on my eyelids. Once I finish adding some of this, and I am using the e.l.f. brush once again to add a little bit more of that glitter to my lips also. Once I do that and we have the amount of glitter that we want on our lips, we are done. Hey guys, so this is the end result of the little fun recreation video that I've done today. This didn't take a lot of effort, not a lot of materials, a lot of things I did buy just to make this video, but a lot of things were like NYX products or like things that I already had. So definitely try it out if you want. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and to hit the bell button so you know when I upload. I upload every Tuesday, and I'll see you guys next time.